skeleton, and this is done by Smug, otherwise known as Sam Bates, and we got to see him doing his work with obviously the portrait with the horns coming out of the head. And this particular piece is untitled. There's no title, and this was done for the Big Picture Festival in 2018. But this piece isn't completed. It's never been completed in its entirety because Smug works freehand. He takes a photo of what he sees and wants to actually paint on his phone. Then he goes up on the scissor lift that we saw him today doing the artwork that gets done. Once he gets to a stage, he checks everything, checks his phone, comes down to where we are and look back on his phone to what he's created. And he's always going back, forth, back, forth, back, forward. So that's why it's incomplete. Because it was supposed to be 2 fairy wrens here on this particular skeleton. But because he ran out of time, he's only got the 1 fairy wren. And what this piece is supposed to signify humans and the human condition, that we all are born the same. We've got the same skin, the same bone structure. Obviously we've got blood, but different types of blood types within us. But if we take off our clothes and our skin and our layers, we're all the same underneath. The only difference that divides us is in regards to characteristics, behaviours, beliefs, religion, cultures. That's the only thing that actually separates us from who we are, but we're all the same. So this piece is called Generational Knowledge, and it's done by a Melbourne-born artist, and his name is Matt Adnate. And he focuses on Indigenous peoples in regards to his artworks. And it's known as generational knowledge because this Bunurong elder auntie, Elaine Taylor, is an elder within the actual community. And she's passing her culture, her Bunurong culture, onto her granddaughter Sissy, who's this girl here. And we see with Auntie, she's very stern, she's very passionate about sharing her knowledge to the next generation, which is passing through to Sissy. But when you look at Sissy, she's quite happy receiving that information and obviously going to pass it on to the next generation with a smile on her face. But if you look at her eyes, you get to see the landscape of pre-settlement here within the Frankston region here during that time, during Bunurong times when it wasn't settled by the English and European settlement. But also we get to see also dot paintings or dot artwork done by a Darwin-born artist named Michelle Curran, who's a friend of Matt Adnate's. So she was brought in here in Melbourne to do the dot artwork around to give that extra oomph in regards to this particular artwork being Indigenous artwork. So welcome to this particular piece, and this is called Hypnagogia, and it's done by a Parisian-born artist named Lucy Liu, who resides now in Melbourne. And hypnagogia is a term when we are going to sleep and we're in the state of falling asleep and also in the stage of dreaming. So it's in between that time called lucid dreaming. And we see this girl, and this is Lucy Liu as a self-portrait, wrapped around a blanket which is supposed to provide daylight, also life, reality. But we also see the blue circle around her, giving her the same light and daylight and light. But also in the corner, you get to see the moon being black. When we decide to fall asleep, it is dark 9 times out of 10. So it gives that type of perception also. But you see the sun behind her too in the yellow, also giving that contrast of being alive and awake, and also being in between those stages of sleep and also dreaming. So this piece is called Maelstrom 263, and it's a 3D piece. And the actual artist, what he's decided to do is focus on 2 particular buildings within the city of Melbourne. Do you know which particular buildings they may be? No? The green building is supposed to be the old GPO in actual the Bourke Street Mall, which is now the H&M building. But the actual brown building used to be one of the old law courts within the old court district within Russell Street, which has now been taken over by RMIT to use for their law classes. And he's taken a photo of these two particular buildings and he's put it into Photoshop to actually join them together to get this particular artwork that we get to see. But then he's rotated it 360 degrees for us to be looking at it sideways, looking at it going, what is going on in regards to this actual painting? And he's inviting us into it too while looking into it. And he's making you want to lie down to be involved in it too. So it's very creative. But also to the side over here, sorry I got my back to you, Debbie, is also a hand trying to come over, trying to grab us into the actual painting and incorporate us into this particular painting. So it is very 3D, very smart, and the way art is going now in regards to AR, augmented reality, and these 3D type of paintings, that's what's happening with a lot of the street artwork that we get to see. So, good. Yourself? What's that? Excellent. How's everything going? And Maria is a Colombian-born artist who now resides in Melbourne. And with her artwork theme, she focuses on longing, home, self, identity, and also the human condition and also femininity also. And we get to see a work in progress also as Maria's working. And I haven't mentioned in regards to the artworks that do get done for the Big Picture Festival yearly, they have a week that do the actual work. So from Monday, obviously being the 20th of March that just went by, to the 26th. So come on through, man. And Maria is doing art workshops for adults and school children in April at Cube 37 at the Frankston Art Centre.